everyone, and happy July. Here in Southern California, we are in the middle of summer, and this is by far my favorite time to skate. And we are doing probably my favorite choreography that I've ever created to hot stuff, because it is hot, not everywhere in the world, but we are going to sweat. All of these videos that I talk about are available within the memberships on my site, thatnicolefiore.com, or on YouTube. Let me talk first about our brand new skill. We are doing pivots. Now, yes, we have done pivots before. When I say pivot, I typically think of a toe stop down, pivoting around that toe stop, forward, backward, but using the toe stop. So to my surprise, a few people have been asking me about pivots, and I'm like, yeah, we do pivots. Yeah, I do pivots all the time. But they are referring to a different kind of pivot that I am referring to. So what some people call pivots are what I call an assisted three turn. So it's both feet on the floor. When you're traveling forward, you lift the heels both at the same time. When you're traveling backward and you want to turn forward, you lift the toes. So this month we have a brand new skill called a rolling pivot. So I'm going to confuse us even more because I also have another pivot called the rolling pivot, but it's in a separate category. This one is a rolling pivot, a 2-foot turn. So it is both feet on the ground. It's kind of easing your way into a 1-foot turn, like a 3-turn. But honestly, I use this a lot. I use this form of turning from forward to backward a lot. More than I even realized now that it has been brought to my attention that a lot of people are calling it a pivot. I'm like, yeah, no, I really do pivots. I said do. I do pivots all the time on my toe stop and not on my toe stop. So let's get into week 1. Other than the pivot, I want us to do a workout from the Mind, Body, Soul section. This one is called Squat Knee Twist. So you can imagine it's a squat, you bring the knee up and you twist. This works on stability for one leg. It also is a general, just good workout. All of those workouts are 10 minutes or less, and I really, really do recommend sprinkling them in throughout the day. I myself love doing that, especially when I am sitting a lot and working a lot. I just sprinkle in one of these workouts and I feel very accomplished. But this does work on 1-foot balance. It also works on your core stability to add in that twist. It is overall a great workout. Now into our rolling pivot, or the 2-foot turn. Like I said before, I do this transition a lot. I would call this more of a transition. It will be in the transition category. I love doing this for a quick transition. This is probably the quickest way that you can turn from forward to backward. It's more similar to a heel-to-heel transition, because a heel-to-heel transition, yes, you are on 1 foot, but not for very long. And this one, you don't need to be on 1 foot at all. But if you do want to advance from this pivot, you can work on a 3-turn. So that could be your practice for this week, but I also want you to do the inner back to inner forward heel-to-heel transition. This is a really good way to turn from backward to forward right after that rolling pivot that you do on 2 feet. Yes, you can do it back to forward, and we will work on that eventually, but for now, I do want you to work on your inner back to inner forward heel-to-heel transition. This is a transition that I use a lot because it is really simple. You don't have to rotate a lot. Unlike the outer back, the inner back, you're right there and you step. You don't even need to do like a full half rotation. It can be kind of like a quarter if you pay attention to your edges. Your edges make things a lot easier. So hopefully this will help in understanding that a little bit more. All right, week 2. We have our beginner intermediate choreography to hot stuff. Like I said, this is one of my absolute favorites. And this is, I think, a lot of people's favorite choreography who have been with me for a long time. A lot of people, especially Elaine, credit this choreography to helping them get comfortable with their toe stops. So the beginner intermediate, you don't need to have toe stops in. Honestly, for anything, you don't need to have toe stops in. But for this one, I do recommend it because we will be spending a lot of time on our toe stops, and honestly, it makes the moves look and feel more powerful when you are on your toe stop. So instead of a flat foot with all the wheels, I do recommend having a toe stop in so you can step, with your toe stops, at least with one toe stop. You don't need to do it fully on both toe stops. I think I do the choreography fully on both, but you don't need to do that. Remember, when you are on your toe stops, you do not need to balance fully on the toe stop. You will also have your front wheels down on the ground. So it's very important to remember that, especially if you are a little fearful of balancing on your toe stop. It's not like a pinpoint that you have to balance there. You have some extra support with your front wheels. For our practice this week, I want you to work on your toe pivots. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When I think of pivots, this is what I think about. So our toe pivots, we'll use our toe stop. We will be pivoting around our toe stop. There are 4 different ways that you can do a toe pivot. You can do your left outer forward, you can do your right outer forward, you can do your left outer back, and your right outer back. You might be thinking, Nicole, how am I supposed to do an edge? You're saying left outer forward, right outer forward on a toe stop. Yeah, you can't. You actually will be working your inner edges with the foot that comes around, but the other foot, it's really a left forward, right forward, but you will feel the pressure to the outside. So you can kind of think of it as a fake edge. All right, on to week 3. We are going to start with drills 15. This is my off skates warm up. This is by far my favorite and probably most difficult workout that I have on the site in the drills. But this one is very special, to be very near and dear to my heart. This is what I used to do before I put my skates on when I was training and when I was competing. This is what I should do. I do a variation of this before I put my skates on. I should probably do the full thing, but I do recommend that you do the full thing and start implementing that into your skating routine before you actually put your skates on. It is super important for us to warm up, and that is often overlooked, even by myself. Our skill this week is the back to forward toe stop hop. Now I have 2 skills that are named similarly. We have a toe stop hop, which is what I want you to work on. We also have a toe stop flip hop. They are very similar, but again, on theme with the toe stops, I do recommend having a toe stop in. You can kind of get away with this without a toe stop, but it will prove to be very difficult. So we will be using both toe stops in this skill, one and then the other, switching them off to turn ourselves from backward to forward. This is again a skill that I use a lot and one that I truly love to throw in choreography, and not even just choreography. When I'm like flying down a street, I love to do this one. And our practice this week, staying on theme with the toe stops, because you will want this skill for the advanced choreography. I want you to do the toe stop strut. I am all but 5'2", but when I have my skates on, I'm a bit taller. And when I'm doing this skill, I feel like I am a 6-foot model walking down the Victoria's Secret runway. Growing up, that is just what I picture. I am a child of the 90s, but that is what I feel like when I'm doing the toe stop strut. And no matter who you are, I want you to feel that power. It does feel quite powerful to do this skill on your toe stops, strutting your way. Even if you have a small area like I do in this room, you don't need a runway. You can do it forward, turn, side to side. It's very fun to play on your toe stops. So if anyone gives you any hate for your toe stops, just pull out this skill because it feels so powerful and it is so much fun. All right, last week, week 4, we have our advanced choreography to Hot Stuff. Now this is the remix of Kygo and Donna Summer, and it's just so much fun. It's literally one of my favorite pieces of choreography, specifically this advanced one. There is a middle portion to our choreography that I do want you to freestyle. I want to challenge you to come up with a few things of your own in between the beginner, intermediate, into the advanced. I like to stay on my toe stop and do a sort of toe stop spin forever and ever. At least that's what it feels like on the 5, 6, 7, 8 leading into this choreography. But this choreography uses a lot of different skills. It uses a body roll. Yes, that is a skill. A toe stop strut. We do a right outer back toe stop spin. We do a little bit of a regular toe stop spin. There's a lot going on in it, and it is pretty fast, but like always, please take your time, make it your own. You don't need to hit the exact same beats that I hit. This is to guide you into what you can do. Like this, the world is your oyster. You can make it whatever you want to make it. And for our practice this week, this one is going a little bit off track, but I want you to do the waltz jump. Now, I am not a super big fan of having my feet leave the ground. I like my feet on the ground. But when you do want to learn jumps, the waltz jump is actually a very fun jump. You don't need to jump it super big, but if you are a fan of jumping, I do recommend jumping it super big. It is an introductory jump. You're only rotating a half rotation, and it's from one foot to the other foot. So if you jump to your left, you would take off on your left foot, you would land on your right foot. If you jump to your right, you would take off on your right foot, land on your left foot. So you can kind of hop your way around, but eventually I do want you to jump this jump. It is a very fun one. A word of advice is to bring your knee up when you do jump the waltz jump. You don't need to bring it up super high like you're gonna do an axel. You don't need to jump like crazy high, but I do recommend bringing your knee up, matching your other knee into your landing. All right, please let me know if you have any questions. All of these videos that I talk about are available within the memberships on my site, thatnicolefiore.com, or on YouTube. I am here to help. I am available for private lessons as well. So please let me know and keep me updated with your progress. I really, truly love to hear what you are working on, how you are doing throughout the month. So I hope to hear from you soon, and I will see you later.